What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, 9:30 in the morning on this, the 29th day of January 2022. Wow. The year is over. What a year. And that's what we're doing is, what a year. It's Tabletop Role-Playing Game Year in Review. Tabletop Role-Playing Game Year in Review. Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the year, unanimously, almost across the entire world of awards. Thirsty Sword Lesbians has won Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the year. But why? That's the story, really. And as, following up on a discussion I had with Venger Santanis, we're never going to know. I mean, sadly, we will never know if this really is the most breakthrough, genre-bending, original role-playing game of the year, because for good or for bad, Thirsty Sword Lesbians will always have its title hanging over it as sort of a sort of Democles, no matter how good or bad the system is, it is never going to be treated with the respect it may or may not deserve based upon the product. It is always going to have its name hanging over it as sort of this, this sign. And you're never going to know. Did it win all these awards because it truly was an amazingly inventive, original role-playing system? Or did it win all the awards because of its name and because people wanted to be inclusive and they felt that, well, we have to make this one Game of the Year because if we don't, people are going to call us homophobic and say we hate lesbians? Now, maybe the creators of this game thought the name was, funny. They were sort of tongue-in-cheek, making fun of the genre, making fun of the whole inclusion thing, and just, this idea of this type of movies and TV shows. And I definitely need more caffeine because my brain's not working. Maybe they did have a political agenda. Maybe they didn't have a political agenda. Maybe they knew that by naming this, it would get so much attention. Maybe they're just like, you know what, this is a funny name. Let's just call it that. We're never going to know. Even if now you ask them point blank, what are they going to say? Any answer they give will inspire some form of outrage. From someone. They've trapped themselves, sadly, in the box that now, they have no choice but to run with what they've been given and hope for the best. Which just kind of sucks, I think, for them, because they can never not be Thirsty Sword Lesbians. They will always have this hanging over their head. And whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it truly is the best role-playing game of the year, or simply won the name because all the people felt like, well, if we don't, we're going to get in trouble. They're going to be known as the people who made Thirsty Sword Lesbians. And it's kind of like, Tim Curry being Frank and Furter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. It took decades for Tim Curry to finally be recognized as anything other than that character that always hung over his head. And no matter what he did in the industry, no matter how hard he worked, it was always, oh, look, there's Dr. Frank and Furter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. It took Tim years to break out of that. And it's going to be the same thing for these guys. They could be wonderful people. It could be a wonderful game. They could have had no idea of what was going to happen. They just, probably thought it was maybe in some version of the multiverse, it was just like, yeah, this is a cute, funny name. There's a fad going on. There's all these TV shows and cartoons that are sort of taking the He-Man action boy genre and instead making it about, he-girl, action girl genre, and, the relationship in, obviously, She-Ra on Netflix. Huge reference for this. So, yeah. Well, congratulations to the creators of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, no matter what, for just being universally recognized as the game of the year. And hopefully, whatever they make next will be good, and they will continue to create product and continue to sort of have this tongue-in-cheek recognition of LGBTQT representation in the industry. And maybe, who knows? Maybe this will end up being a good thing. I don't know. But, as I said with my conversation with Venture Satanis in the past about this, and anybody else I've had conversations about Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, is like, sadly, again, we're never going to know. We're never going to know if it won the award because the industry really thought it was the Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year, or it won the reward because of the politics, whether real or not, that were attached to it. So, and, again, we're never going to know what the creators really, truly had in mind, because now, no matter what they say in regards to the game and the title and what they had, whether they knew or not, somebody's going to be upset. If they don't say the right thing, they'll upset the one half of the equation, and if they say something else, they'll upset the other half of the equation. No matter what they say, there's going to be somebody who's going to be angry at them. So sadly, they are in the same position as a few other companies. And, maybe when this all started for them, they were just like, hey, let's make a She-Ra role-playing game, but we can't use the word She-Ra because it's copyright Netflix. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, if you're one of the creators of Thirsty Sword Lesbians and you're listening to me, why don't you reach out to me? Let me interview you. Let's talk about this, because even though I obviously can't form a sentence lately, it's still an interesting idea. And how are you prepared, creators of Thirsty Sword Lesbian, going forward now that this award has been handed to you, and now that you're sort of placed in this unusual position of representing a culture and knowing full well that no matter what you do forward, you're now under that microscope, and that there's always going to be some aspect of the organization of Tabletop Role-Playing Game that's always going to just be looking at you going, you! So yeah, congratulations, but also, man, kind of sucks. But yeah, congratulations. Congratulations for Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year, creators of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. If you are one of the creators of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, reach out to me. I'd love to interview you. Even though, as we can tell, I can't talk, and I've just said the same thing 4 times in a row, and I obviously need to go lay back down. I'm the OGGM, and we're going to be taking a look for the rest of the few days that we have of the Tabletop Role-Playing Game Year in Review. And, of course, cannot talk about the Tabletop Role-Playing Game Year in Review without talking about the Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Anyways, I'm going to sign off now because obviously it's another Mike's Brain's Not Working day. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If there's a topic you want me to talk about in 2023, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe and help me hit 1 billion subs in 2023. And remember, this is my job. This is a monetized video. And if you want to support me and help me, grow the channel, there are several ways you can do it, including Patreon. And of course, the best way to do it is to buy my merch. Links down below. See ya.